Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Disguises mod, which is being made by user Singrith, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the ability to actually create disguises so that the various hostile factions of the Commonwealth are not constantly trying to kill you. And I love the idea behind this mod, as I cannot tell you how often I just get a little bit bored and decide to have a little explore and don't want to have the hassle of a firefight every couple of seconds when I'm just wanting to look at the world. And the ability to create, say, a raider disguise so that the raiders aren't shooting at me is a pretty awesome thing, and thankfully it all works pretty simply once you do have the mod installed. All you need to do is, first and foremost, build a disguise workbench, which I've already made over here, but to make one for yourself, you will have to go into the workshop mode, over to crafting, and then over to the, there it is, disguises workbench, which is pretty easy to produce with just some wood, gears, spring, screw, and aluminum. And then once you have that built, you simply go into it like any other workbench in the game, and go between the different categories to get exactly what you need. And what the various categories here for this mod represent is basically the different factions. So as you can see here, we have Brotherhood of Steel headgear, Brotherhood of Steel uniforms, Children of Atom equipment, or disguises rather, electronics, which we'll come back to this one momentarily, Gunners headgear, Gunners uniform, Institute disguises, miscellaneous ones, which honestly, I don't know who the feathered dress is supposed to disguise you as, but it's there if you want it. And then we continue on down here with Raider armor, Raider headgear, railroad disguises, repellents, which are for bugs, they basically bug disguising, Triggerman hats, and finally, Triggerman suits. And these are all the different categories that we do have, and it's quite handy. Now, you may notice something a little bit strange here, that if we do go to, say, the Brotherhood of Steel headgear, I can't actually make this right now, because I don't have a custom perk here for Brotherhood of Steel enemy. And that's because they don't want you to disguise yourself as a potentially friendly organization. It's kind of a weird glitch in it that if you disguise yourself as someone you're already friends with, then you may actually have to use console commands to re-add yourself to their friendly ranking or whatever in the world it is. So if you are in fact enemies with the Brotherhood of Steel, like I am, you actually have to change the settings for this particular mod, and that is where electronics comes in. Now, we do actually have a disguise in here, the distortion signal emitter. This is specifically for messing with robots, so any unfriendly robots in the game won't care about you as long as you have this in your inventory, which is quite cool. You don't actually have to equip it anywhere. As long as it's in your inventory, you're good. But the other thing in here is the disguises menu holotape, and this is where you have all of the different settings for this particular mod. So let's actually go and look at that real quick before looking at the other disguises. And if we just simply go into inventory, over to miscellaneous, and then down to disguises menu holotape, and load that up, it's a pretty simple selection of things here. Now, the first option we have is in regards to requirements. This is an interesting thing that I didn't know when I first downloaded this mod, but basically every kind of disguise has a requirement for it to actually be successful. I mean, sure, you can just throw on some raider clothing, but if you don't have at least luck of 5, you're drunk, or under the influence of drugs, the raiders won't believe you. And I really like that that is an actual system in this mod. And basically each one of the factions has a different requirement for what will actually make them believe that you're one of them. For instance, the Triggermen want you to have at least charisma of 5 while wearing a Triggerman suit. The Railroad wants you to have charisma of 6 or higher, intelligence of 6 or higher, and luck of 6 or higher while wearing their disguises. And there's different requirements for each group. I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a list on the mod page, so you can go and see each of the individual requirements. But if you don't want them, you can just go and turn it off if you so desire. That is completely up to you. You can turn off the requirement and just not have to deal with it, or make it a little bit more difficult on yourself, and in my opinion, a little bit more balanced, and leave that on. Now, the next thing we have is the message options. Now, whenever you put on a disguise, it'll pop up a little UI message saying, oh hey, you are actually disguised now. If you don't want that message, you can turn this off. It's on by default, but you can turn it off if you so desire. And finally is the faction enable, and this is what I was getting into earlier about, say, the Brotherhood of Steel faction. Right now, I cannot create their disguises because the mod doesn't know if they're actually an enemy of mine or not. And if they are indeed an enemy of mine, I can go in here and turn on that disguise. Now, I'm actually not going to bother with it because I'm not actually going to build one of those today because I have no idea where to even find any Brotherhood of Steel remnants to show it off. But yes, you'll just have to do that with basically whichever of the 3 factions you piss off in the main storyline. You'll just have to turn them on or off depending on if they are in fact your enemy. And those are the only options for this particular mod. Not a whole lot to it, but you know what? Not a whole lot is necessary. So if we actually do go back into the disguises workbench, we're going to build 2 disguises just to show it off. Now again, as I said, we have a huge selection of different things here, of all different sorts of hats and headgear and uniforms, etc. that you can build for all of the different factions, which is actually quite fun if you are actually trying to, say, perhaps maybe make a video of some form, some kind of machinima. This could even be very useful for maybe, you know, doing all your props. Could be very nice. But what we are going to go do is head down to the Raider armor, and we're going to build 2 different kinds of Raider armor here to show off. The first one we'll do is the helmeted caged armor, which does require a fair few materials, but we'll be able to easily create it here. And wow, weighs 33, look at that. But we will build, there we go, and that is a fully functional disguise on its own. But if we also go down here to Raider headgear, we could also say build some road goggles. Again, not a whole lot to the requirements, but these road goggles on their own also count as a disguise. You don't have to be completely dressed up as a raider. You could just be wearing some raider goggles and they'll be perfectly happy with you. So we can go and select that, beautiful. And then, you know what, we'll also go with a repellent to show off the bug stuff. Now, of course, we could go do any of the other factions, but I'll pick the bugs because I know where bugs are nearby. Now, in here we have 2 different interesting options. This is what we're going to build, and it's a standard bug repellent. And like that robot one that I showed you earlier when we were in here, this will work as long as it's in your inventory. Now, we also have this bug repellent, which is a ring, and this one will only work when equipped. So you either have it always on or only on when equipped. It's up to you as to which option you go with. But again, if you go with the equipped one, you're going to have those requirements. This one, though, being always active, doesn't seem to have those same requirements that we spoke of. So let's just go and build that. And you'll notice right up here, it's already working. Bug repellent is in fact working, so bugs shouldn't be worried about attacking us now. And so that should be pretty cool. Now what we're going to do is zoom out here briefly so you can see disguises. Now, of course, the bug one is active so long as it's just permanently in my inventory. But say if we want to go with the helmeted caged armor, well, boom, that just took off all of my different assault marine armor that we were wearing. And now, bam, I am a raider. And I am completely disguised as a raider. The raiders will not be an enemy of me. Now, something that is, or should be noted right now, is my current factions, like my settlements, do not recognize me as a raider. So anyone who's typically neutral to you, like say Diamond City or any of your settlements, they will still know that you are in fact you, which is quite handy. But if you go up to any raiders, they'll think that you're one of them, which is very, very convenient. These guys too should be neutral to me. If we just, yes, there we go, they are all neutral. Perfect. So let us go check out our bug repellent that we have in our inventory, as that should, we should be able to see just right down here. Now, one interesting thing, like with the neutral people, like our settlement folks back there, no one else in the Wasteland currently will see us as a raider. That may change in the future. The mod maker is wanting to add so that the other factions will actually interact with you as if you were a raider, which is quite interesting. I hope he keeps the neutral ones, though, because that's quite convenient. But see, we're getting up on this bug here. And he is green. He doesn't care about me at all, and thankfully, he also doesn't care about dog meat. The disguise not only covers you, but also any of your companions, which is quite wonderful. Now, here's the thing, though. If we don't have that item, or if, say, we take it off in front of them, which actually for this, we're going to actually have to drop the darn thing. Oh boy, where'd it go? Oh god, I think that one goes somewhere else that I don't remember. I'll show this off when we're around the raiders later. But yes, if you take off a disguise while you're in front of people, they will immediately attack you. So let's actually go to where I know some raiders are, which they should have repopulated Lexington by now over at the Corvega assembly plant. So we'll go there and show off our new uniform to our lovely new friends. So let's just head here. Okay, now we are over here at the Corvega plant, where, if we just hit VATS real quick, that machine gun is not hostile to us. Neither is that raider right there, because they think we're a raider, because we are, of course, dressed as one. And that is pretty wonderful. Now, what I'm going to do real quick, ooh, something exploded, lovely, is I'm just going to go around this corner where they can't see me. Oh wow, there goes another explosion. Something is going off around the corner there, and what we're going to do is switch over to our other disguise real quick, because remember, if I actually put on my marine wetsuit stuff back on, there we go, and just go with the raider goggles, we're still disguised. Look at that. So all you need is at least one raider item, and holy crap, there goes a third nuclear explosion. Wow, cool, something's really kicking off. But now that we have these goggles on, similarly, if we go around the corner, these guys are still friendly to us. They are not going to attack us in the slightest, which is very, very convenient. But here's the thing. Like I was trying to show off with the bugs, but I couldn't remember where the bug repellent went in my inventory. If I say take off my disguise while I'm here,
hell yeah!
Oh no, they're now hostile to us. And that is a very bad thing for us indeed. And the problem is even though we could, say, perhaps try and put this disguise back on, they don't take it because they've seen me as not one of them. So basically, you have to kill anyone that's seen you in your disguise, and before you can actually be disguised again. So we've still got some people up there who want me dead, and we won't be properly disguised again until we either lose track of them or go somewhere where they can't see and put on a different disguise. So I believe if we go... no, we're still in danger. So I don't think that's going to work. Disguise is off, disguise on. They couldn't see me, though. Oh, nope, it went away because they could... Oh, nope, they are still trying to kill me. Yeah, you gotta lose them. You got to lose them. I was hoping maybe I could just go somewhere where they couldn't see me. But yeah, you have to lose them to put your disguise back on, or else it's, you know, for nothing. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. Don't just go and take off your, disguise whenever you care for, because, well, they're still wanting to kill you if they don't think you're one of them. And yeah, that is basically how the disguise mod works. You make your disguises, you put them on, and then roll around the wasteland, hopefully not getting shot by these people, unless you take off your disguise in front of them, which is probably not a good idea to do. Oh, it might have been someone up there that could still see me. Huh. Yeah, it's always a possibility. But yes, that is, again, the disguise mod. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, and I definitely would suggest that you go and have a look, then you can take a look at the link in the description, as always. And yeah, go and have some fun with it. Again, you can pretty much wear a disguise of anyone, from raiders to children of Adam to gunners, triggermen, etc., and it works pretty darn nicely. So go have a look at it, enjoy yourself, and wander around the wasteland without a care in the world. That's it for today, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.